Whether you're into business, fashion, tourism, or health, just watch to find out how technology can make your life better. This is how we welcome you to this edition of the program, AIT Infotech Network, Africa's best and leading ICT program on television. Then I am Bayero Agabi. In this edition, get to know more of the National Information Technology Development Agency's commitment. From NIDA, we take you to NCC, Africa's biggest telecoms regulator, you say, plus our guest of the week. But first, issues and development that made news in the past 1 week. Ideas, innovations, products and services, people, places and trends. Technology connects them all on AIT Infotech Network. Join Africa's leading ICT broadcaster, Bayero Agabi, for issues, analysis and trends in how technology can make your life better. At this time on AIT Network, I am Bayero Agabi. Join us.
It's like a payback for MTN to pay back to Nigerians.
They just exploit us. The quality of service is really bad. The CSR, the corporate social responsibility of the company, they are not really doing well, and I think they are really reaping from what they've really sold.
Fines, as far as I'm concerned, they just damage the institution itself. You see, abroad, why do fines work? Because when you fine a company, at the next general meeting, the shareholders will demand or complain as to why their dividends are less because they had to pay this fine. Usually the consequence of this is that the CEO will be dismissed or changed, but that doesn't apply here.
On the 26th of October 2015, the Nigeria Communications Commission, NCC, fined MTN Nigeria $5.2 billion for failing to disconnect 5.1 million of its unregistered cell phone subscribers. The Nigerian Communications Commission basically fined MTN about $1,000 per unregistered user, which covers about 5 million unregistered SIM cards, thus amounting to over 1 trillion naira and about $5.2 billion. The $5.2 billion fine is, according to the company's website, equivalent to at least 2 average years' profit for MTN Nigeria and nearly 3 times the $1.8 billion that it has invested in Nigeria. But to some Nigerians, the fine will serve as good caution to others who, according to them, have formed the habit of ripping off Nigerian subscribers through bad services.
It's like a payback for MTN to pay back to Nigerians what they have taken away from Nigerian poor plans.
If they are going to pay such fine, it's going to affect us with the MTN subscriber, because the issue is by the time you load credit, you don't know the amount of money you are using. Like somebody like me now, I decide to load, even though I don't load much, but I might decide to load just 200 naira to call my friends, and before I know what's happening, 200 will be like, before you know what's happening, it's finished, and I'll be tempted to buy another one. So it's going to affect us.
These comments, harsh as they may seem, may not be unconnected to the situation in the past, where the regulator was perceived as either serving the network providers, and where the telcos were made to believe that they have grown to become a monopoly far beyond what the NCC could regulate. But with the recent big bite by the NCC, reactions now are mixed. For some, the Nigerian government should thread with caution, and to others, the effect may be more than the benefits.
We should think of sanctions that actually achieve an aim. If the CEOs of these companies are held personally responsible for disobeying the regulator's request, that would have more effect than fining the company.
Putting the fine into proper context vis-a-vis the Nigerian economy, Nigeria's 2015 budget proposal submitted to the Senate in December of 2014 has an aggregate revenue of 3.602 trillion, which is made up of oil revenue of 1.98 trillion and non-oil revenues of 1.68 trillion, according to the Pricewaterhouse. In US dollars, That will be an estimated oil revenue in 2015 of $9.5 billion, while the non-oil revenue estimates primarily made up of taxes will be approximately $8.5 billion. This is perhaps many eyes saying that the ICT sector can be a major sustainer of the Nigerian economy if well nurtured.
It enables innovation. It is knowledge driven. When you have capacity, when you have knowledge, you can apply it to create innovation. And innovation by its nature creates changes. It transforms the way you do things to a new way, make you more efficient, make you open to much more opportunities.
The sector has attracted foreign direct investment to the tune of $30 billion. The NCC's licensing and spectrum fees has contributed to the coffers of the nation. By making remittances to the consolidated revenue account of the federal government to the tune of 300 billion naira. The NCC has indirectly created 500,000 jobs, and directly it has created 18,000 jobs.
As it stands, the MTN fine of $5.2 billion is already 60% of Nigerians' expected non-oil revenue for the year, and is approximately 30% of the expected entire 2015 Nigerian revenue. And according to the Bloomberg.com, the MTN fine will exceed the revenue of the Nigerian government made from oil in the second quarter of 2015 and be more than double the state's non-crude proceeds. To economics experts, Nigeria's government is at the risk of scaring off investors it can't afford to lose with this kind of actions against one of its biggest foreign investors.
I feel with such a fine, we are not encouraging foreign investors to come into this country. Irrespective of the offense, from what I read in the papers, I think the offense was about them having unregistered SIMs still operating. Such amount of money, to me, is a lot of money. It's too much. Because that kind of money is enough to actually liquidate the company in itself. And that means thousands of people will be losing their jobs.
We should think of sanctions that actually achieve an aim. If the CEOs of these companies are held personally responsible for disobeying the regulator's request, that would have more effect than fining the company. Okay, yes, what has happened is like it happens abroad. The CEO has, it's been said he has been resigned. Maybe he was encouraged to resign or advised to resign based on the fact that it's a tremendous loss to the company. However, if there had been more of a deterrent, if the CEO or whatever in a company knew that the regulator had the power to remove him if he's not obeying their instructions, they should put that in the license conditions when a telco gets a license.
Analysts argued further that with an economy struggling to cope with sliding oil prices, currency restrictions and insecurity, authorities are doing themselves no favor by penalizing one of their biggest foreign investors. For the operator, the fine equates to more than 20% of Johannesburg's base MTN market value. In order to pay, MTN may resort to increased services.
Or every establishment will normally take such from the consumers, which are the subscribers in this case. So I think it's going to affect a lot of things if the company must survive.
In a way, it is senseless because I can't see what it is going to achieve. It is not money that acts as a deterrent here. It is like what I described before. And now you are threatening the functionality of a huge company for which many Nigerians rely on, be it for their communication, be it for carrying out financial transaction. So the question is, Does it benefit anyone?
In addition, most communication networks dealing mainly with the provision of internet services, especially 4G networks, use the mast of already established networks like MTN to mount their base transmission stations, the BTS, for effective delivery of service. As a result, this huge fine levied, this could likely increase the cost of rent to be charged to other communications network. For many, these are enough reasons to consider dealing with a huge organization so that its intended gains are not ruined. But to others, it's good enough.
I think we should actually take our mind back to when this whole registration thing started. If we remember very well that there was a time the NCC, they were actually asked to do registration by the federal government. And so I really don't know why they didn't really carry that out, because if they actually done their own part to register, you understand, Nigerians, then there won't be need for the telecom operators to do it individually. So I think really that casting our mind back to those periods and what we have right now, if they actually done that, then the telecom operators there won't be need for them to actually do their individual registration on their own. If you ask me about the fine, I think it's something they can actually dialogue, something they can actually sit down and talk, you understand.
As the world continues to revolve around digital economy, which is driven by high-capacity ICT network, the traditional postal business line, which is letterpost, has been greatly challenged with faster and more efficient ways of communication as a result of advancement in information and communication technology. While some postal administrations has taken these challenges as opportunities to innovate and change the way of conducting postal business, many post offices are here to take full advantage of the new technologies to improve their business performance. Obviously, customer expectations, needs and tastes are changing, and the post must change as well to this new demand for the postal service to survive.
We are living in a digital economy which is driven by high-capacity ICT network.
This was made known by the Acting Postmaster General, Architect Enoch Adiogun, at a two-day Mail Operations Division interactive session with Chief Inspectors of Postmen on improvement of postman delivery nationwide at NIPOS Training Institute, Kaduna campus. He states that on his assumption of office, he has set in motion a series of roadmaps aimed at building a transformed NIPOS. Participants at the session states the importance of postmen taking their work serious with requisite skills and technological innovation to take the postal service to a lofty height, opining that mobile phones and advancement in technology is not a threat but an enabler of the postal system. Hence the need to rebrand NIPOS to suit current technology trends.
It is the first time we are coming together to see that some of these chief inspectors of postmen, who are more or less the supervisors to other postmen, to first interact with various functionaries of the organization.
The interactive session was organized by NIPOS to deliberate on how to improve postmen activities to the benefit of customers and greatness of the postal service.
Life's one big hustle. That's why around here, we don't hang around for pocket money or handout fees. Nah, bruv. We hustle and grind. Like Angela. Economics major, but she's a cool makeup artist on the side. Or Steve, third year engineering. Awesome photographer. Even the VC wants him for his shots. How about Tony? He's also a DJ. His hustle is so tight. So how do we hype our hustle? With MTN Caller Field. It's a simple and unique way of selling what you do whenever anyone calls. So whenever I call Angela or Tony or anyone, their colorful message sells their hustle instantly. Plus, you can make your colorful messages come alive with smileys of your choice. Now, isn't that cool?
Simply text REG to 50016.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Thanks for being with us. That was the news of the week on Tech Impact. For details, please reach us via our email or text the number on your screen. At this point, I head you now to Iyabo Ajayi for trending issues of the cyberspace. We call it Cyber Update.
This week, we'll take you from robots to robots. You wonder how? Then wait. It would be surprising if announced we're opening a futuristic research arm aimed at developing disruptive innovation strategies. This, however, was a decision made 2 years ago. It's not a kind of thing people expect from a home improvement retailer in which customers can envisage a new kitchen or conservatory by entering a chamber and looking through the high technology screen. More ambitious. Still, it is called Hushbots, a gliding, chattering retail assistant robot. Hushbot is 4 feet tall, pear-shaped character, limbless, with nothing but a vague green glow for a face, and a screen slanted in front like a starch penny. It is basically a roving kiosk, but definitely didn't want to have arms or anything like that. But there's still a lot to figure out. For instance, what voice should the robots have? Should it be male or female? Well, I think it should be female. There are so many things we can't just know or imagine until we try it. Hushbot is not a replacement for human beings. Rather, it is there to augment the store associates. A range of duties. It sounds like a female in a promotional video. It is restricted to greeting customers, discussing their needs in brief, and escorting them to correct ISO and shelf. Despite these limits, she is considerably more sophisticated than a human worker in a number of other ways. A 3D scanner secreted in her front can examine any item from a streamer to a tag and match it to a stock database. She knows the precise location of every product in the shop at any given time, and she's also multilingual. Sounds interesting. The sky is the limit when it comes to robotics. Robots will soon be indispensable as smartphones, and Hushbot is just the beginning. And now from robots, we'll take you to robots again. Robots seem to be taking over the world. Maybe it would be easier and better. By 2016, there will likely be a 6 feet tall police robot patrolling the streets and handing out parking tickets. The Telebot, developed by Florida International University's Discovery Lab, has been field tested and is undergoing final tune-up. With a swiveling head, dexterous fingers, the humanoid robot is controlled remotely by a person wearing an headset, motion tracking vest, armbands, and gloves. The menacing look of Telebot is no accident. It's designed in one that can intimidate and display a sense of authority. Justification for this, let's just say it. RoboCop is couched in appeals to sympathy to help disabled officers and veterans get back on the job. What happens if a police robot malfunctions and harms someone, for example? How police robots work? If a human police officer can get away with killing so easily, as the Free Thought Project continually documents, what would this mean to the robot officer? A fully autonomous robot officer is already in the works. It does not wield weapons, but serves as a total surveillance machine for cops or private clients. It has facial recognition and scans over 1,500 license plates per minute, captures audios and 360-degree video, tests the air for chemicals, and maps its surround them with 3D radar and laser. Robots will be recording people's action and conversations in public places all over the world in a few years maybe. Robots have been used for years to detonate or disable bombs. Nothing controversial at all. But police robots are increasingly being developed for use against people. Large remote-controlled robots are now fitted with arms that can breach doors or hold live weapons. The danger from police robots is not only ground-based. The skunk riot sculpture is designed to control unruly crowds by firing up to 20 paintball or pepper spray round per minute for each of its 4 barrels. It also features strobe lights and lasers to dazzle the protester, and of course, the full range of surveillance capability to monitor the crowds. Well, enough of robots for this week. That will be all on this week's edition of Cyber Updates, and I hope you're considering robots already. Thanks for staying with us. I remain Iyabo Ajayi.
Thanks, Iyabo Ajayi. For details, please reach us via our email or text the number on your screen. I am Bayero Agabi. For details on the show, please visit our website, youtube.com/CyberAfricaTV, or better still, reach us via text. The number is on your screen. And now to our guest of the week. In your own assessment, to what extent would you say that e-business has really grew in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. Very vital question and a very, very ideal question for these times. I would concede to you that the growth rate or the traction that we've seen may not be the best, but increasingly we have seen e-business go. For the benefit of our viewers at home, let's just try to run away from the traditional technical lingos and just break it down. What's e-business? E-business stands somewhere at the middle of using technology to enable business. The traditional business model, the traditional now brick and mortar process is now gradually being migrated into a model where you find technology somewhere in the middle, intermediating that traditional process of doing business. Today, thanks to the mobile explosion that we've seen, in which we have over 150 million connected lines in Nigeria, the traditional buying and selling is still there. But today, people can do it from the comfort of their mobile phone.
In fact, just last week I saw carrying online.
Simple. What that meant was that at the heart, or there's some technology that sits right at the back end that enables you to sit in the comfort of your office, to be in the comfort of your home, and to be in any location in any part of the world and have a device as small as this, or a desktop computer, or a tablet or a laptop, or any other portable device, and being able to conduct those traditional transactional models that we have to physically go and conduct in a specific location.
But as one, especially in the media, who plays big, you know, in top at that level, I mean, online business or online media, of course, from the last statistics, if you are not top, you are next. You are the second in Nigeria in terms of database and all of that. What has been your challenges?
Well, it's still the traditional challenge. The infrastructure is there, but the infrastructure is not working at its most optimal. I'll give you an example.
What are those infrastructures?
Okay, for something as basic as internet access. Okay, for you to be able to conduct some decent e-business or any other technology-enabled business or process, you needed some neat level of internet bandwidth, internet access, and some decent level of speed.
But you find out that most of the time, particularly peak periods like this, you still have, you want to access a web page and you're virtually doing worldwide wait instead of a super fast call. So there's still those infrastructural challenges. But I'm never one of those people to say that, oh, because the infrastructure is not at its most optimum level, that we should still play, because the world out there is not waiting for us, and is a sector in which we continue to leverage available infrastructure and still say that we must slow down.
So will you say that the youth, in terms of employment, that the e-business ecosystem is actually generating, or is it capable of generating employment for the youth, or the youth can actually tap into it to create enterprise for themselves and also employ others?
There's something that I love lately that has been resonating as an agenda, and that's the need for us to begin to change the narrative. There's some fantastic young boys and girls out there that are doing fantastic things out there. But you see, more of the time when you're talking about the youth going online, we usually narrow them down to the traditional narrative that, oh, they're doing Yahoo Yahoo or Yahoo Plus. No, there are quite a number of fantastic young boys and girls getting on the computer and designing fantastic platforms, website, designing fantastic applications that are basically addressing real life situation, real life need.
For news, views, trends in ICT globally and Africa in particular, watch AIT Infotech Network for the latest news and innovation in ICT for development in Africa. Plus, what technology can do for you from business to politics, tourism and culture. I am Bayero Agabi. You're welcome. That is the show for the week. If you have any comment or suggestions for us, please send them to the number on your screen, or better still, you can visit our website or our YouTube channel, which is YouTube/CyberAfrica TV, or better still, you can just text me on the number on your screen. And I am Bayero Agabi. Bye-bye next week.